Okay, let's just start by watching the normal flow of the boat. What we're seeing is different pairs. Take a look, we'll get into the analyzing in a little bit. But just look at the normal flow of the boat at this point. And trying to see how you're trying to pull and it's a bit choppy as opposed to just letting the boat flow. Think about everything I said to you this morning about getting the body set early, reaching the hands from the inside hip to the outside hand. And are you doing that at the same time, or are you setting it early? The more movement we have going into the catch, the slower the boat's going to go. So once we get through the whole flow of the boat, I'll go back to the beginning and we'll do a little analyzing. So let's pause it there, and we'll go back to the beginning. Okay, here it's moving in slow motion. We're looking at the stern fore. As we move into the pairs, we'll talk a little bit more. And we'll pause it there for a second. And let's take a look at what happens frame by frame as you go into the catch. Notice the angles here and here. We want those angles to be parallel. Janet, your angle is really nice. Becca, you need to be over a little bit more because, as you can see, the lack of body compression causes over compression, this angle here of the knees. See how Janet's knees are straight up. So when the body is straight up, you're at the same point, but the knees are over too much. When the knees are over too much, you can't produce power. So then we take the drive, we're getting the legs on. That looks good there, but as you can see, Becca here, body's almost upright, knees are still at an angle. So we want to make sure we're doing that. Janet, you're in a pretty good position there. Body's still forward to the hips, knees are pressing down. So they're right at the catch as the blades are going in. Notice the movement. All that should happen here is the hands should rise. You're not even in the water yet, so you want to be able to get that through. Then take that drive, and this is where the portion, your body still needs to be forward. There and there still need to be forward while those legs are coming down. But take a look at your handle heights here and here. Those ought to be even. If the boat's balanced and you're doing that, your handle heights ought to be even. And notice a little bit of slide movement, lots of shoulder movement from both of you. So here we are taking the drive. Right in through there, the body, at this point, the body should be still as the hands are coming in. Body still moving back. Outside hand drop down. And the knees start moving up and you're barely across the knees. Now the body's still moving forward as the knees are up. We want to make sure that you get that in the right position. Don't want to take the catch with the body. Now Becca and Lisa will take a look here. Right, going into the catch. Again, a little over compression. Lisa, you're slouched just a little bit. But then we go through and take that catch, and basically, Becca, your chest should be on your knees at this point. We need to get you farther forward. Same thing, Lisa. M. Now we see the opening up. Legs are down. Want to hold in there, and this is what I was talking about. We've got movement of the shoulders dropping down, Becca, as you're coming into the body. And Lisa, you're kind of leaning away a little bit. I'm not really talking about blade work too much here because your body is going to set your blade work. Now as we go into the catch, that's actually a nice extended position for you, Becca. You're a little bit rounded, Lisa, but Becca, you want to have that body forward so it's more of a reach from this point to this point. From the hips to the inside hip to the outside hand. That's what we're really trying to look for. So then you can see as it's opening up, the blade is still trying to get into the water. And there, when you're not supporting that, notice how the blade came out as it's still moving forward, and it came out. It needs to come out very vertically. So we want to look for that as well. But that's just not establishing that base. So you want to be able to hold on to that water all the way through until you release. We don't want to see the top of the blade coming out. Now let's work into our Lisa pair. We'll take a look there and look at the body positions. By the way, nice catch, Rebecca. Now at this point, the blade's just anchoring in. The chest needs to be on the thighs, shouldn't be opening up, and then we start the drive with the legs, not the shoulders. This is really pointing out when we go frame by frame how much movement there is. Lisa, see how the elbow drops? Lisa, M, see how the elbow drops? Take a look right there. That elbow should be at the height of the oar handle, not down below, because that's going to get your outside shoulder to drop and you're going to lean away. Getting the hands out. Lisa R, you're starting to move a little bit forward with the body before those hands are fully extended. And Lisa M, you kind of waited. Now your slide's coming up, and you can see that, and your body's very vertical. You need to get that body in a forward, whoops, wrong marker. There we go, forward position as those legs are coming down. And Lisa R, you really want to think about not letting that outside wrist, see how right in there that outside wrist is starting to bend? You need to keep that flat so that you can draw in with the outside hand to make that strong. Because that's going to cause a little bit of washout of the blade. Take a look there. If you're not supporting that outside hand with a bent wrist, it's not going to support. Sonny, you're just leaning away a little bit. And what we want to do is use that flexibility. See how you shot your slide a little bit without anchoring the blade in. Slide's already moving and the blade's not in. So we've got to put it in on the recovery a little bit more. And Nina, you're extending really nicely as you go through, but we have to get that body early. If you notice, we go back a little bit there, right here at the catch. You can see the blade in the corner. Look how Your body is dipping down into that catch. Lots of dip, lots of movement, which is causing you to miss water at the catch. Then the blade goes a little bit deep, and you get that body lift really early. You're kind of doing the same thing. And your blade's going a little bit deep. You can see how high your hands are. And then, Nina, see how the hands came from there, and then they gradually work down. What we need to do is get those hands to move across and then tap down. So we want to make sure that we get that. We don't want to draw them down, but we want to draw all the way in high and then tap it straight down to get out of the release. Sai, we talked about the layback just a little bit. We want to watch that as you're going back. That's laying back too much. You can't support the release in order to do that. Your extension at the catch looks good, but right here as we go forward, you should be a lot more forward in your body position. Maybe not quite that much, but you want to lock in that body position as opposed to having it pretty much straight up and down. So as you're going through, watch there, you added that extra, and that causes you to lift up. And we say we want the hips to go through the door first. You're very vertical there, and then you're laying back too far, and your hands make a little bit of a loop, and we want to be careful of that. And then also you can see as you go in late with the body, you get a little bit of a jerk with the slide. And that's movement of the slide without pressure against the face of the blade. That's going to make it really difficult to move the boat. Sandy, you're extending really well here. But what we need to do is use that outside hand a little bit more. If you notice right in here, your hand is just wide open. And it's not gripping the oar. You want to control that with oar and place it in with the outside hand. Body position is good there, but now watch the shoulders. Continue to move a little bit and then notice how they lifted it up. And then we got through there. And that causes a little bit of washout. And just trying to work right through that. So it's a little early lift, a little late body going over. But overall, we're getting it a little bit better.